So let's start off with the band The Faint. And they are an indie rock four-piece band from Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I bet you thought they were from somewhere else when you listened to this particular album, right, Caroline? Like
outer space?
Sure, we'll go with that. At least not from America, but we'll get into that in a second. But this is their 8th album, but it's their 7th album under the name The Faint. So when they released their debut album, Sign Syria, back in 1995, they were known as Norman Baylor. And at that time, the band's sound was classified as post-hardcore. But then by the following album, Media, in 1998, the group signed to the Omaha label Saddle Creek Records. And it wasn't until the third record, Blank Wave Arcade, when the Faint sound shifted towards new wave like techno. And I first heard this band when they released their song I Disappear off the album Wet from At Birth, sometime around 2004, I think it came out. But their previous album, 2001's Dance Me Karabe, is considered their finest work, and it's a perfect blend of indie rock and dance punk. And it's been 5 years since the Faint last album, Doom Abuse, which continued their aggressive dance-inducing style and was one of my favorite albums in 2014. There seems to me to be like a tremendous lack of dance punk on this album, and they are hardcore riding the synth wave. Having said that, I think there are plenty of grooving tracks that still maintains the Faint signature sound. So what I'm going to do is like just name like a couple songs that, I liked. Alien Angels has a fast tempo, danceable new wave beat that band does so well, even down to the atmospheric synth keys. I like that song a lot. Same can be said for the previous song, Life's a Joke. I like that song because I'm imagining blasting that song while speeding down the highway in LA in a 1980s Ferrari or something like that. It just gives me that nighttime 80s feel, Don Johnson, Miami Vice style. The band's slows things down though a bit on the title track, but that build up for that song, and then when that beat hits, that kind of that Eurythmic beat that comes in and a steady club beat, I thought that was heaven. And this continues the 80s sound with the gloomier industrial electronic vibe, and it's something you would hear from a band like Kraftwerk, which I'm getting to think is that why they spell work with an E to pay tribute to Kraftwerk for the album? So that's kind of the first earlier part of the album for me. For you two, I would say, Devin, you never heard this band before, I guess.
Never.
So you're going into it cold. How was it gelling with you?
Well, the very first song, I just thought of it kind of like club music. So I didn't really have any kind of feeling towards it. As I kept listening, I think it started growing me a little bit more. The lyrics weren't a big point of emphasis.
Okay.
For a lot of these songs, I was just
But you're talking about "Child Asleep," the first song.
Yeah.
That's deep though. He's saying
Okay.
I'm not really I don't know all the answers.
Right.
Yeah.
I still didn't really pay attention to that.
Okay.
I'm just okay, well, the beat's nice. I mean, it's a nice little club mix.
Okay.
And
then you get that.
Yeah, I did like the bass in a lot of the songs.
That was we get a EDM total raver moment. Go on.
Yeah, but I was, I didn't hate it. I wasn't raving about it.
Pun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
You thought it was pretty good. So Caroline, same thing. Never heard this band before.
Never heard of them before. I haven't even heard of the term dance punk.
Okay.
So I'm going to look into that because that
Okay.
sounds really interesting. But I am shocked by how much I enjoyed this album because I don't like electronica, synth, dubsteppy, all this. It wasn't dubsteppy, but
Right.
that kind of genre of where it's all electronica and all the voices are treated. I hate music like that. When you sent me the list of albums and I was oh, okay, I'll start with this one, and I press play on the first song on Spotify and I heard the first two beats, I just stopped and I was nope, not today. But then I went back and I actually listened to it all the way through, and I really liked it. And all the songs that you mentioned and all the reasons you liked those parts, I completely agree with. But then what you mentioned, Devin, about the lyrics is it's very true. Most of the lyrics are you don't really have to pay attention to, and I feel that's not why I would listen to them again, not for the lyrics, but for like the fact that like I would put it on at like a party and dance or something.
Yeah.
Or just like zone out.
Yeah, or like if I feel like speeding while I'm like driving to work or something, I would put this music on because it would make me want to go like 15 over the limit.
Did you notice that the singer's name is Todd Fink, and he has like kind of like a one note vocals, and he sounds to me like Damien from the Gorillaz, and that's why I thought like you guys would think this like a British band, but
I didn't even put two and two together.
he sounds unique to you, or
Well,
you just didn't think of anybody.
I didn't think of anybody
Yeah.
else.
I was just trying to. He sounds like someone like every time I listen to all their albums, and particularly this one since it's so dancey, and that's what the Gorillaz are known for. So I'm the only one here that actually was paying attention to the lyrics then, and the lyrics on this band are covering the negative impacts on society and things like technology is like brainwashing us, like on the song "Own My Eyes" when he's like distractions. Own my eyes. Like it's like,
So
whoa.
predictable.
But it's true. Everything we look at is distracting us. Or like the challenging but like somehow necessary need to fit in, which is the song Chameleon Nights. But basically, like if I didn't like a song, like the way it sounded, like I liked the lyrical message. And like I mentioned, Childish Sleep, I think is deeper than Devin does. He thinks it's like deep as a wading pool, but you know, I feel like you can dive into that. I thought the song Another World was a little too synth poppy with like the bouncy keys during like the chorus. It kind of reminded me of like a cross between Tears for Fears and Ace of Base. But
You say that like it's a bad thing.
well, it's just I thought it was kind of beneath them to be so poppy. But not complaining about that. And I thought the last song was great too. What's Automation? Source of the Sun I like too. Kind of got like a 90s house beat mixed with like chaotic synth keys. So Devin, I'm surprised with that song. You did not even get off your ass and dance, or at the very least snap your fingers to
No, I
song.
like that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the reason, I mean, because I looked up the lyrics and I think the reason I kind of just ignored them for the most part was that I found that they were exactly, the content of the songs were exactly what I was expecting from a band that sounds like this.
Okay.
You know? So I found that they were like surface level deep, kind of like what Devin was talking about. But then there were a couple that I didn't mind. I think my favorite was Young and Realistic.
Yeah, that was good.
I liked that one, and I liked the last song. I thought I thought the last song had really nice imagery. Like a dress knows what to do when the wind blows. That imagery was cool. But other than that, what?
I said, wow.
He said, "Wow, he blew his mind just
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh
Like
my
that's like,
gosh.
and I feel like it's the last song, and suddenly
Yeah.
the lyrics are like interesting. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was kind of just like technology, man. I didn't really know myself. I thought I was really, like enlightened, but I'm actually not. So it's like baby's first existentialism, you
Yeah.
know?
Existentialism for dummies." Yeah.
Yeah. But I still liked the album.
That's where I'm at too. I was mad about the lack of the dance punk thing because this doesn't sound like a rock band to me. It sounds like a dude singing and like four other people with like drum machines and synthesizers just doing and it's just like I don't know. It's like the uniqueness of the band's gone. But I'm like I like these songs, and then I thought about it. I'm like maybe adding like the hard hitting aggressive dance punk would have like the overtone would have like undercut like the lyrical message of the songs or maybe the way the song sounded. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it would have ruined the subtle ambiance of what the band was trying to build. So I was like, you know what? This album is fun. It's a little more thought-provoking than I expected, and the combination I thought was great. Seems like this the perfect soundtrack for society as we await when we destroy ourselves. A bunch of listens for me is what moved my rating up a bit to I'm gonna say you should buy this album. Let's squeak by with a buy this, Let's just go to Devin second.
Wow. Okay. Well.
So help you God if you go too lower.
I thought it was like a good album, like to jam out to or like play at parties or anything like that. But like I kind of just with this kind of album, I kind of just turned my brain off and just I don't know, just enjoy the actual like synth and the bass and the sound and just I don't know, jam out, I guess. But
That's the problem, Devin. You turned your brain off. You're not getting what the knowledge is dropping.
I know, but when it's this kind of music, though, it's just like I
Yeah.
don't really expect anything
Yeah.
super deep from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
So-
got to listen to it again, read the lyrics, and watch The World of Worlds at the same time to see if it syncs up, you know.
Like,
Not the Tom Cruise one, the original.
right. Like if you played it at a club, you wouldn't be like, "Oh wow." I didn't realize,
standing
like,
there.
Oh sheesh. Oh, okay, but just because of that, like I'm gonna say download this.
I knew it.
Like I mean, I'm not like really into this kind of music so much, and I didn't hate anything about it. Like there's no song on the album that I hated, and at the same time, like I'm not gonna like praise anything really because I guess I didn't listen to the lyrics enough.
Caroline, help me out here.
Okay. See, but I agree with you because I think that there isn't really that deep of a message, and yet still at the same time, I think that it doesn't need to have a deep message, because I think that like they were trying to have a depth to what they're saying, but a lot of times the lyrics were almost like just like absurdist, like just like words that they knew rhymed with each other. I had a lot of fun listening to it, and it was just like energizing, and I just really wanted to dance. So anyway, my final recommendation is download this.
I could have been with you guys because I thought that first, but then I was really like, I think I like this a lot, so I can't just go in that level. So
But you said you were like close,
I was
and that
close.
you kind of
Yeah.
just eked over to
they
buy
eked
this.
me over,
So we
yeah,
were,
yeah.
I think we're all pretty. You were on the lower end of download this. I'm on the higher end of download this.
Hey, how could you tell?
Because,
I can see it in your face.
Wow. Okay.
okay, I think you were on the lower
Nah,
end.
you're pretty
of
right.
it. I know.
All right. Well, if you guys heard the new Faint album, let us know what you think in the comment section, and also tell us what your rating would be on this record as well. We appreciate all your thoughts.